listen to this extraordinary roar in the King's Hall that's greeted the challenger Bernard Taylor, who quite cleverly, psychologically, is wearing some green. And now they await the arrival of the man who has come back to Belfast to defend his world title, Barry McGuigan, the Clonus Cyclone, and we are about to have a cyclone of sound. The first world title fight held in Belfast for 36 years. Now then, the crowd is poised to let itself go when they see McGuigan. Bernard Taylor, the American, has brought a miniature US flag into the ring with him. Here's the man who had all the problems today. At 8 o'clock this morning, he was 12 ounces overweight and then took 20 ounces off in 20 minutes. Unbelievable, this. I thought I'd seen it all in the King's Hall, but tonight it's more tremendous than ever, even though the capacity has been reduced from 10,000 to just over 6,000. But this 6,000 are making more than enough noise for the original 10,000. This fight tonight sponsored by Irish Permanent and the whole of Belfast agog. And now McGuigan is on his way. The Rocky theme fades, the crowd's noise slightly subsides, and we can hear ourselves talk and think again. Amazing. There's never been a homecoming for a world champion like this. 24-year-old Finbar Patrick McGuigan, ready to defend his title for the first time. Taylor's still holding his US flag, and he hasn't stopped smiling. They're waiting for the US national anthem. McGuigan goes on, limbering up.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what journey we had at the twilight laughing through the bright stars through the perilous night? For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, they proved through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does the star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Howard Gerrals, a friend and fan of Bernard Taylor, came all the way from Knoxville, Tennessee, to join Taylor and to sing the American anthem. And now the Irish reply from McGuigan's father, Pat.
From glen to glen and down the mountainside, this summer's gone and all the flowers are dying. 'Tis you must go and I must bide. But coming back when summer's in their meadow, oh, when their eyes hush the quiet words is I
And Bernard Taylor comes over to McGuigan's father and presents him with an American flag.
Is the principal contest of the evening for the WBA World Featherweight Championship. Stewards appointed by the British Boxing Board of Control. General Secretary, Mr. Ray Clark. Your stewards in charge, Mr. Derek Monteith and Bill Sheeran. Inspectors, Dr. Paddy McHugh and Mr. John Toner. Your honorary medical officers, Dr. Paul McKeown and Dr. George O'Neill. Your timekeeper is Mr. Dan McAllister. Your matchmaker was Mr. Paddy Byrne. Your seconds were Eddie Shaw and Brian Robinson. Ladies and gentlemen, Introducing the challenger from Charlotte in North Carolina in the USA, the #1 WBA featherweight challenger, unbeaten in 34 professional fights, Bernard Taylor. And then in the blue corner, from Clones, making his first defense of his title, the WBA featherweight champion of the world, McGuigan. At the weigh-in this morning, Taylor weighed 7 stone, 13 1/2 pound, 125 pounds and 8 ounces. McGuigan weighed 8 stone, 13 6 ounces, 125 6 ounces. The officials appointed by the World Boxing Association, judges Marco Antonio Rodriguez from Mexico, Franco Primari of Italy, the WBA supervisor, Fernando Mandre Galendas from Venezuela. Your referee is Mr. Isidro Rodriguez from Venezuela.
MC Danny Small giving it the full treatment. Venezuelan referee making sure the gloves are dry. And so McGuigan about to make this first defense of the title he won from Pedrosa at Queen's Park Rangers in June. Belfast's first world title fight since Rinty Monaghan got a draw here with Terry Allen for the World Flyweight Championship 36 years ago. Taylor, known to be skillful, a brilliant amateur, unbeaten, as you've heard, in 34 professional fights. One draw with the former champion, Eusebio Pedrosa. McGuigan's 29th fight, one defeat early in his career that he later avenged. And Taylor doing precisely what one expected of him. Nimble-footed. He'll use all this ring. He's skillful. Not known to be a hard hitter. McGuigan is. And this is a tough challenger. He's the #1 official contender for this World Boxing Association title. And McGuigan has been forced to meet him in his first defense because he got the Pedrosa fight under certain circumstances. He's at least 2 inches taller than McGuigan, but I doubt if he's got a longer reach. McGuigan has this exceptional reach for a featherweight of 70 inches. But Taylor's setting a fast enough and a skillful enough pace in this opening round to show already that he's going to set a few problems. Taylor is a former United States national amateur champion and a former Golden Gloves champion. His credentials are good, but he had this problem making the weight just after 8 o'clock this morning. And the question is, has that taken a great deal out of him? People who struggle to make the weight are usually weak when they come into the ring. This is scheduled for 15 rounds. Can Taylor keep the pace up for 15 rounds? Because surely McGuigan will make him go fast. Even first round. McGuigan smiles as he takes one. So the first 3 minutes has gone according to plan. We thought Taylor would come out and use the ring and be fast, and he's done just that. So McGuigan now knows a little bit about what he faces, but I don't think he was under any illusions in the first place. 28 fights, 27 wins, and 23 of those have come inside the distance, and just that one early defeat against Peter Eubanks. When he beat Pedrosa on that famous night in June, he beat a man who'd made 19 successful defenses of that title and hadn't lost any fight since 1976. McGuigan's performance that night was one of the outstanding performances from any British fighter in the last 50 years. Now tonight, he has to do it all again.
And away, round two.
And the Taylor camp slow to get their man back into action. Taylor was born in Charlotte, North Carolina, now fights out of Knoxville, Tennessee. These two could well have met before in the Moscow Olympics. McGuigan was there as a bantamweight, and Taylor should have been there and fought his way through the trials to claim a place in the US Olympic team, but of course the United States never went to that Olympics, and so they never met. Taylor looking dangerous. Long, aggressive right hands coming across. Well, this is a really fast 9-stone pace, and it has to be kept up for 15 rounds if it goes the distance, and that'll be hard. Another good right from Taylor, and McGuigan is getting early evidence of this man's skill. Elusive target, but every now and again he moves forward, and when he does, he looks dangerous, and the punches come over fast. Well, McGuigan hasn't yet found him with a good punch. He's going to have to do a lot of chasing, and he's having to take a few punches too. And Taylor is taking this round. So Taylor, for me, moves into the lead after 2 rounds. Well, here at the King's Hall with us is our old friend, the former world middleweight champion, Alan Minto. You've seen 2 rounds, Alan. What do you think?
I had the first round even, Harry. This second round I made the challenger nick it, but he's fighting just the way I thought he would box. He's moving around, he's making it very awkward. He's diving from side to side. He's throwing out long, straight jabs, followed by right crosses, making it very, very awkward for Barry. What I'd like to see Barry do is to cut the corners, not follow him around, cut the corners and double up on everything he's got. He's throwing single jabs and single right hands, but it's not enough, and Taylor's coming back on top. He's got to pressure him and throw more and more punches.
There's no doubt, Alan, he's got a real challenger here, hasn't he?
He's got a good challenger, yeah. The man looks very, very slippery, very confident, and very, very fast. But we don't think we think he lacks power, and so that's in Barry's favour.
So McGuigan goes chasing again. And this challenger on long legs and with long arms presents the most elusive of targets. These are early days. Good punches inside, head and body. And this man is posing more problems even than Pedrosa did in the early stages of that fight in June, and more problems than Juan Laporte did in the fight before that with McGuigan. And if that business of making the weight this morning affected him, it hasn't shown yet. Taylor grinning as it goes back. Not seen too much evidence of McGuigan's right yet, but when we do, there might be a shock for Taylor. There certainly was for Pedrosa. Taylor grinning all the time. These two are likely to provide a classic fight for us. At the moment, McGuigan getting back a bit more than he's giving. McGuigan trying very hard to get close. Clever man, making the champion miss all the time. And McGuigan takes a long, hard look at him as they separate at the bell. And McGuigan now knows that he's maybe going to have to work harder in this fight than he's ever worked in his life before, because Taylor is a really good challenger, no doubt about that. And I made him steal that third round as well. Let's have a look at some of that action. This man is a very skillful boxer indeed, and he's quick to counter when he sees the chance. And he even got one down under the defensive elbow. So they won't be too displeased. Ace Miller, the manager, in the corner there with Taylor, they won't be too displeased at the way this fight's gone off. But it's gone off very much to expectations. Everybody thought he'd set a fast pace going backwards. Everybody thought he'd be a good counterpuncher. And that's just how it's proved. What he does lack, which I think Alan Minter said to you, is a really powerful punch. And again, the challenge is slow to come out. The test for Taylor will come when McGuigan lands the first really hard punch on him. the danger for Taylor will come if those legs suddenly don't carry him about so fast. Furious pursuit by McGuigan. Always in the centre of the ring, you'll notice, making the other man go the long way round. This man must be one of the best backpedalers in the business. Couple of stray low punches there from either side. This crowd, as you would expect, dying to see McGuigan put the big right hand in, just like he did with Pedrosa. But we had to wait till the 7th for that. More even round this one. But I still don't think McGuigan has put in a really dominant round. He hasn't yet won one on my card. I made that even. So what an interesting first defense this is by Barry McGuigan, this extraordinary young fighter. Still only 24. Who certainly has got more gifts, I think, than any fighter I've seen in many a year in this country. And he's by far the best featherweight since the days of Howard Winston. And, of course, he has the punch that Winston unfortunately always lacked. He's got skill and punch, tremendous strength, a wonderful ability to discipline himself in training. All in all, the complete fighter. But tonight is no easy job, and that has already been proved after the opening 4 rounds. The reason Taylor's coming out a bit slowly is that they're used in America always to a preliminary 10-second warning buzzer. And I thought that was going to be provided at this fight, but I don't hear it. And so they're not really prepared for the bell. They expect to have a 10-second warning. You can almost see the brain of McGuigan working here. How can I find a way to get at this man and put in my best punches against him? McGuigan falling short a lot with the leads, and that's very tiring. If you keep punching at full extension and the punches don't connect, it's a very, very tiring process. So he's running away. Slight sign now that the speed of Taylor is slowing a bit. Legs not moving quite so sprightly. Still getting good punches in, though. McGuigan's pressure will be relentless. That you can rely upon. still going in, still finding the openings, both to head and body. Taylor. And there's no question that he is taking the play away from McGuigan in these opening rounds. But McGuigan will not stop chasing. Caution there to the challenger. There was the right from McGuigan. It glanced across the chin. It didn't land with full power, but he took it. And this crowd sensed that there might just be the beginning of a slight turn in events here. Alan Minter, I don't know if you agree, but it does seem to me that he's slightly slowed down Taylor. But what a menace he'd be if he was a real puncher.
You're right, Harry. I think he's slowed down quite considerably, which makes it much easier for Barry to connect with, to get to him. The thing is, in the early rounds, Barry McGuigan was tailor-made and there's Taylor backing off and catching McGuigan with sharp, straight shots. But now he's starting to tire, which shows dramatically, and McGuigan is just catching him. If he tires anymore, I think you'll see Barry connects with some fantastic punches. At the moment, Barry is not hitting with too many body punches. I'd like to see him jab, double the jab to the head, double the jab to the head, and hit hard to the body.
OK, thanks. Tailor-made. We'll do without the puns, thank you. I can make all those. I still can't believe myself that that business at the weigh-in this morning hasn't left some sort of effect upon Taylor. How can you do 20 minutes skipping before the weigh-in and 20 minutes after on the day of a big fight and not have it affect you in some way, physically or mentally? Well, that's what he did. Wrapped in plastic and sweatsuits and heaven knows what. Pulling on. His head rubbing in McGuigan's face again. He's coming in close more often now. He's looking for breathers. And the tide is certainly turning. This is the typical McGuigan style of non-stop pressure. This is what wore Pedrosa down, although Pedrosa was a great champion. And there were 3 times in that fight when he might have been stopped, but he found the courage to go on. And McGuigan is doing just what Minter suggested he ought to do. He's getting inside now to the body, and that will weaken Taylor very quickly. Bursts through with a combination there. The first time he's really got in with a good combination. And suddenly, the flight of Taylor begins to look desperate rather than planned. A most definite swing in the 6th. This is the first clear-cut round for McGuigan. And Taylor's work is beginning to look very ragged indeed. and the King's Hall knows it. And there was so much noise, you could hardly hear the bell at the end of that round. And suddenly, the crowd in the King's Hall, they come alight with pleasure because they've seen McGuigan finally burst through the defences for the first time. Here we are again. Taylor began to look extremely worried, and suddenly he was walking onto punches that previously he'd avoided. Total swing. And so McGuigan, for the first time, gets the upper hand. Now then, this corner will be working out how they can apply a little more pressure now. Now they've got the man going. Well, that's what it looks like. How can they keep it up? And there's nobody more destructive than McGuigan when he has a man on the way. McGuigan's lead strike now. And McGuigan signals to Taylor, watch your head. Taylor now desperately looking for something to stop this man coming at him. What a fighter this McGuigan is. Taylor knows, and this crowd knows, that things are going against him. But still, you have to give Taylor credit. He's digging something out from somewhere. The legs are still working. But he's taking punches now that he wasn't taking in the first 4 or 5 rounds. And there's a lot more of it to come yet. Holding inside. Desperate to get a breather, I suspect. No smiling now. Nobody knows better than McGuigan that it certainly is not easy. Inside work getting a bit rough now. And there's the bell. And McGuigan has had another good round. The noise in this place really is quite incredible. There is no other arena anywhere in the world that generates this sort of extraordinary excitement. I've said it many times before, but it really is a job to hear yourself speak in this. The corner working calmly over McGuigan, feeling confident now. And I wonder what they're saying to Taylor. He may have done his best work by now, and he knows that McGuigan is coming looking for him all the time, and there'll be no respite. Taylor absolutely drenched in water, and the referee is going to have it wiped off rightly. Trying somehow to refresh him. McGuigan sporting the dove of peace on the leg of his trunks. But there's nothing peaceful about this little man when he gets going in the ring. Right hand underneath, low from Taylor. This is a very rough and tough fight now, believe me. And Taylor now is fighting to survive. Anything goes inside now. Elbows, head. From both of them. McGuigan getting more and more punches into the body. And Taylor almost creasing in half when he's hit there. Good left from McGuigan. Taylor fights back very, very courageously indeed. What a terrific battle for this WBA featherweight championship. McGuigan's first defence, and by any standards, a memorable one. All the work inside coming from McGuigan. And Taylor is being fought to a standstill. No more movement in the legs. 8th round. Desperate moments for the challenger from America. The punishment simply sweeping over him and around him and into him. And McGuigan looks to his corner and he smiles, as much as to say, I'm doing okay, don't you think? There's the bell. Terrific round for McGuigan. And so all the advantages that Taylor had at the start have been wiped out. And Taylor looks like a desperate man in his corner. He's shaking his head. He's looking at his seconds. And they're throwing it in. They're throwing the towel in. Taylor doesn't want to go on. What an amazing turn of events. McGuigan has kept his title. Taylor can't go on. And the scenes around me, absolutely amazing as this crowd erupts into triumph. McGuigan does it again. He turned on too much power for the weight-weakened challenger, and Taylor decided he'd had enough. What an amazing turn-up. And McGuigan again proves that he is a marvellous champion. And the two men meet in the ring for the last time. He took all the determination and all the challenge out of Bernard Taylor, who for the first 5 rounds gave McGuigan plenty of problems. But from the 6th onward, the tide inexorably turned against this man. And he couldn't take it in the end because McGuigan proved himself too strong and too good for him.
So there we are, Barry McGuigan's done it. Good evening to you. We've been sitting, Alan Minter and I, up a little bit higher, away from the frenetic atmosphere down at ringside, enjoying that, and a thrilling win for Barry McGuigan again. What clue do you have about Taylor packing it all in there? Must have been hurt.
Yeah, he must have been hurt. I mean, Barry was getting to him in that particular round with them body shots, and when he sticks them body shots in, they are crippling. So it's caught, you know, it looked like he wouldn't last many rounds longer, but I think it was very sad for his corner to throw a towel in. I think it's for the featherweight champions of the world. Let him go out in style and let him get beat if he's going to get beat.
Yeah, normally with a world title bout, they sort of give a little more than that in a way. Maybe crush ribs or something like that.
Yeah, could have broke a rib. I mean, McGuigan hit so hard to the body and to the head that he could have broke anything.
Well, that was the turning point might have come a couple of rounds earlier, round 6. But up till then, the challenger was going really well, wasn't he? I think we anticipated that in actual fact he would start well, and he certainly did. Well, there's the champion, and still champion. A successful first defence. He's enjoying all these moments, and why wouldn't he? But it was a tough contest early on for him, and it took a little time for him to get the measure of his man. And he did box well, Taylor, earlier on, didn't he?
He boxed very well. He boxed like I thought he was going to. He's long and tall, a good boxer, moving from side to side. If he could have kept up that pace for 15 rounds, well, he might have won. But see, with the pressure that McGuigan puts on you, you just can't dance. And you can dance, but you can't hide. And once them body shots start going in, Des, the head will fall, and that's just what happened.
Taylor, in a sense, paid his price, as you say, for not having the power. I mean, his record showed that. He, I think, knocked over 4 opponents, despite being undefeated, which wasn't really very clever.
He's very smart, he's very quick, he lacks power, and a man that lacks power, you know, you can hit a man all night, but if you're not hurting them, they can fight all night. But as soon as McGuigan got to him, it was the writing was on the wall. But it was a very, very exciting to start with, very exciting.
Let's just have a look at a few of those moments then in that last round where Barry McGuigan did all his best work. He started it in the 6th, and in the 8th, it was really splendid stuff. Well, I think we're going to see it in a moment, that Harry is about to talk to Barry McGuigan in just a moment or two, who's doing an interview there for American television first. Well, we'll try and see that 8th round again in a minute or two. Any other thoughts on Barry's performance tonight? Nothing suspect about him at all. He looked sharp. Took a little time to
looked very sharp. I think I would like to have seen him double up on everything, double up his jabs, double up his right hooks, and pressure. You know, the thing was, he was pressuring, but he was tending to follow the challenge around. Yeah. I think if he would have cut corners more, because in America that's what they do, cut corners, put a lot of pressure on, double up on your punches, and throw plenty of them body shots, and I thought he might have stopped him earlier. But give Taylor his due, a good fighter.
Not easy with an opponent like that, though, actually, to cut off the corners, because he is a slippery customer, isn't he?
It's not easy, but someone that's the world champion, you should be able to do it. Yeah. It's difficult, but you should be able to do it.
Do you think the atmosphere got to the opponent in any way, to Taylor? I don't think so. I don't
think so. The man's boxed all over the world, and he's boxing in front of big crowds. He knows that the atmosphere is going to be unbelievable.
Here are those moments in the 8th round that we were looking for. And he'd had a good 6th, hadn't he, McGuigan, and he really came strong here, and those body shots got through. I mean, look at them there, going underneath the arms. And I've got a feeling that that is where the damage was done, wasn't it? Good left hook to the head there, too, and you see that? Yeah. That really wobbled Taylor there, didn't it?
See, the thing is, he started throwing body shots a bit earlier on. They didn't look too much, but they go right through you. Then this round, we just seen one there, which is, I thought he was going to die. It's a terrible punch.
Tremendous power of McGuigan.
Tremendous power. No matter how fit you are, if you take a punch to the body, under the solar plexus where there's no muscle, it hurts you.
I'm sure he paid a little bit of penalty for those problems at the weigh-in this morning, when he was probably about 2 pounds overweight when he arrived.
Yeah, I don't think that would have affected him, because it was 9 hours before this fight, so therefore he would have had a nice lunch, plenty of fluid.
And built up his strength. Well, let's hear now from the champion, who's down there with Harry.
Right, we've got Barry McGuigan. Barry, what a way to come home to Belfast and win, eh?
really so pleased. You know, I think that's about the most awkward guy I have ever met, and I hope that I'll ever will meet. He's so slippery and awkward and hard to hit, and so quick and cunning and fast at getting to me, and when he threw his punches, slipping in on top of me and curtailing my own shots. I don't think I hit him with half the amount of punches I threw at him. And that was a wee bit demoralising early on, but it's only a matter of time. I felt really strong.
You were a bit demoralised, did you say?
I was a slight bit demoralised early on.
I've never heard you say that before.
Well, you know, thanks to my corner, Eddie Shaw and Mr. Eastwood, they told me to bang to the body. This guy doesn't like it downstairs, and switch him up and switch him down. And he could run, but he couldn't hide. It was only a matter of time of catching up with him.
What did you think swung it in the end? What was the moment when you suddenly felt, I've got him?
Well, I hit him a sharp right hand in the last round to the body, and it just almost broke him in two. And I think it's probably about the only punch that I did hit him, you know, delivered properly and caught him properly. But I was prepared to go 15 rounds. I trained very hard, and I know he'd said a lot of things, that he was going to beat me and he's going to knock me out and he's going to take the title and all this sort of thing. But I'd like to take this opportunity to thank him, because he was a hell of a nice guy, and all his team were nice people too. And you know, it was a second go and his big chance. But I was very pleased, and I'd like us all to thank Mr. Eastwood and Eddie Shaw. You know, this is a team effort, and it's a marvellous performance by them as well as myself. Well, I hope it is marvellous.
It's not a bad homecoming, is it? This crowd have given you some reception here tonight.
The crowd here is unbelievable, and I love them all. I really do love them, each and every one of them. And they come to see me, and they pay their money in the queue for hours. And I love them all, I really do. And all my fans across in England as well, and Wales and Scotland. I love them all. And the Isle of Man, I forgot to mention him the last time.
Barry, thanks. All right. Barney Eastwood, just a quick one. What do you think is next for Barry?
Well, we don't really know what's going to happen at the moment. We have a few things in mind, but really we had intended to go to America, but the Irish Permanent Building Society are very interested maybe in running a fight in Dublin. If they have the money, we have the time.
Okay,
you understand?
well, we look forward to seeing you in the ring again, but I think you deserve a rest. You've had 3 very hard fights this year.
Thanks very much indeed, Harry. Thank you very much.
Lovely having
Thanks a lot. Thank you, buddy. Okay, there we are. Back to Desmond.
There you are. They continue to talk as well as they fight over here in Northern Ireland. Where do you think McGuigan goes now? They're saying this might be his last fight here, that he might go to the States for the big dollars.
Yeah, he could do, but I think if, as they just said, if the Bruno Society come up with that big money, then stay in his hometown or in Ireland.
It helps.
And
I mean,
defend
that
now.
support must have helped him tonight tremendously, mustn't it?
I mean, I tell people, I say the atmosphere in Belfast is phenomenal, but you can't put it into words, Des. I mean, you've got to be here to witness it.
Yes.
I mean, it helps 100%, yeah.
In a sense, rather than prejudicing the challenger tonight, it just helped. It boosted McGuigan. He kept going when he might have just felt, oh, I'm getting caught a little bit in this fight.
It boosted McGuigan, and I think it's slightly disheartened Taylor.
Yeah, so all in all, a successful night. Do you see him hanging on? I mean, you won the title. You successfully defended it once, which McGuigan has now done. Yeah. Then it kind of got difficult with a man called Hagler. What do you think about McGuigan? Do you think he can continue?
Yes, I do. And I'd just like to say that if Marvin Hagler wasn't around, I would still be world champion, hopefully.
Good
but,
for you.
But there's no one around at my age, thanks, Des. But there's no one around yet to touch McGuigan, I don't think.
He's a tremendous fighter and a great featherweight. Probably, do you think that you would go along with the fact he's the best, with all due respect to yourself, one of the best British fighters we've had in years?
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
He's being trained right, he's being looked after right. I think he's probably one of the best that we've ever seen and likely to see for many, many a year.
Thanks, Alan. Well, we've had a splendid night here tonight. Remember, there's another big boxing occasion. We're really in our stride with the boxing now, because next week at Wembley on Tuesday night, Frank Bruno will be challenging Anders Eklund for the heavyweight championship of Europe. That's on Tuesday night at Wembley. You can see it on Sports Night on Wednesday. Tuesday, as I say, at Wembley. So there we are. We've had a splendid night tonight, and still WBA featherweight champion of the world is Barry McGuigan. From us, good night.